Hi, this is Ian Berry. There's a lot of talk about hybrid work, and I think a lot of the talk and the action has actually confused matters immensely. Hybrid work is less than half the real story, I think. Mary, not her real name because I need to protect her, she's a long-term client, highly successful business. I know her really well. She's gone from having a great boss to someone who's still in that old command and control world, believing in people management, which we of course know for over 100 years. It's actually a myth. But Mary's trying to manage her new boss in many ways. And the new boss told her in a one-on-one conversation that she really didn't fit the future requirements, which has left Mary, of course, staggers me. And really she's in a no man's land at the moment. Hopefully she'll be able to manage up, as they say, and get things back to where they be, or she'll leave and find a place that actually appreciates her talents. This scenario is typical of what I call industrial revolution scenario. There's even talk of a second, third, fourth, and fifth industrial revolutions. I read the writings on this, and I think it's garbage. I think it fails to recognise that around 1760 to 1840, that industrial revolution actually dehumanised the workplace, and we've still got a hangover from this. So we need to forget this language about second, third, fourth, and fifth industrial revolutions and actually focus on humanising workplaces. I've been in the room with more than 1 million people since 1990 through presentations and conversations. And I can tell you from my experience that there is a craving for bringing humanness back into the workplace. John, again, not his real name, he's a long-term employee who I've worked with for over a decade. He's an inspirational leader. He's loved and trusted by his teammates. Recently, while working from home, he was told, along with his teammates, that if he wanted to go to the toilet, he's got to sign out on his computer and then sign out when he comes back in. This kind of distrust, of course, is rife in workplaces where people management still exists and we're still trying to command and control people. John and his teammates have even been forced during COVID-19 to attend a whole bunch of compliance meetings. They've been totally useless. They've further dehumanised the place, and they haven't contributed at all. What they've actually done is decrease trust in bosses. Now you can see a theme that's a bit of a trend here, isn't it? Bad bosses. We know from lots of data that 7 out of 10 people leave their bosses, not their workplaces. Now, Sally, again, not her real name, she's a senior executive. I worked with her for more than a decade. And despite above average performance and making a significant contribution to the company's successes, including their wealth increase, recently they've hired new people, and under instructions from a higher boss, they're actually trying to shift Sally sideways because they're becoming a for-profit business, ignoring the success of being a for-people business. Now, of course, we've known this again for hundreds of years. Profit's not a reason for being in business. It never has been. Profit is a result of being good at business. And we know, again, from significant data that people-focused businesses are actually making a lot more money, a lot more profit than profit-focused businesses. Slowly, for-profit businesses are becoming dinosaurs, but there's still a lot of greedy people out there driven by self-interest and ego. Those succeeding and getting through the COVID cloud are having a lot less meetings and much more human being-centered conversations. I think there are 9 essentials to these, and I just want to look at them briefly today. Firstly, these conversations are candid, they're convivial, they're compassionate, and they're also conscious and compelling. Secondly, these conversations, you feel safe and trusted. Thirdly, in these conversations, opinions are held lightly. It's a key. In these conversations, silence is valued. It's okay just to hang in there while thoughts and feelings come up and then they get expressed at a later time. Storytelling is a feature to human being-centered conversations. There's also honesty. There's a willingness to be vulnerable. And there's clear lines of accountability. And particularly when these conversations are held in peer groups, people are able to get accountability partners. You're seen, heard, and understood in these conversations. There's also a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of wonder, and there's great deals of enthusiasm. And number 9, there's generosity. There's reciprocity. And there's also, and one of the most important ones, is that there are practical outcomes from such conversations. Now, these are going to be part of the theme of my second season of We Need to Talk, which is the second season, but it's also my signature program. We will be having these conversations. They cause sparkinations. A sparkination is, of course, is a spark that ignites passion, that leads to action, that changes what's normal. We crave conversations that stir our hearts, shift our thinking, and inspire us to be and do differently. Such conversations feature engaging language, which elevates the conversation, which in turn enriches the relationships, which of course are the lifeblood of everything we are and do as humans. The power of these conversations is that they're a catalyst to meet deep human needs, like being heard, understood, appreciated, valued, and loved, like belonging and feeling connected to people who will support us and to whom we can support. And then thirdly, seeing, unearthing, magnifying, and enhancing our essence, but that's our unique personal wisdom, and helping other people to be and do the same. I'll put a link to the We Need to Talk episodes. They start in June. Episode 2 will be in September, and then February and April next year. There's a Northern Hemisphere option and a Southern Hemisphere option. You'll see that at the link. I'll also put previous videos and posts that I've done about human being-centered workplaces, because human being-centered conversations lead to such workplaces. We'll see you next time.